principal of the high school. Great to see everybody today. We're going to get a lot of good information today. And welcome to the class of 2023. We're going to get a great amount of information today from all the chair people and other assistant principals. We're going to deal a lot with Lazarus here, one of the assistant principals. Cal Murphy, assistant principal. We have a new dean, Sandy Stuber. Probably, I mean, we literally live in a small college here. As you get around and get to see the high schools, it's absolutely amazing what the district has done. Business programs are incredible. We have clubs, over 60 different clubs for children to get involved with, athletics obviously. So we really take advantage of everything here for the 4 years. It's fantastic. Going to high school all around the country. So you're in the right place for sure. I'm going to pass it on, make a couple of introductions. Ms. Baptiste is our Director of Guidance. Dr. McCaskey, Health Gazette and PE. Ms. Samai is our new PPS Director. Ms. Schwartz is retiring at the end of September. So congratulations to her. And Lonnie Cohen is also headed to high school, but she just couldn't make it today. So enjoy the presentations, and one of the most important things to remember is if you have a question, please call us. If you email me, I'll call you immediately. We are big on service. We want to make sure we take care of the children and have a phenomenal experience here for all 4 years. So welcome, and thanks so much.
Good morning, everyone. As Dr. Andrew said, my name is David Lazarus. I am one of the assistant principals here at the high school. The one message I want you to take away from today is that this is a wonderful place to be. And your kids are going to be in wonderful hands. They're going to learn a lot, they're going to experience a lot, and it's really just going to be an amazing 4 years. The reason I can say that is because I spent many years at the middle school and transitioned up to the high school a few years ago. So I have been in both buildings. I know exactly what it's going to take for them to acclimate to the new building class. It truly is a fantastic place. So, first thing, these are the numbers to key offices that you will likely need during your time here. This whole presentation will be sent out to the entire class of 2028 students and families, just so you have access to all this information as well. So don't worry about taking notes or taking pictures of anything. Also, one of the handouts that came out today has essential information. Please do take a look at that. There's a lot of detailed information in there that's going to be useful to you both throughout the first couple of months of school and honestly throughout the 4 years. So main office, attendance office, the counseling center, health office, and our athletics office. And you'll hear from just about everybody today. So important information to keep in mind. The high school has a 9-period day, which is the same as the middle school. So exactly how they move through the middle school with A-Day, B-Day, PE on one day, science on the other, things like that. So that is going to be the same as the middle school, and I'm going to try to highlight some of the differences for you as well. We do begin a little bit later, which should work for a lot of your kids. Our school day starts at 8 o'clock, and we end at 2:44. One thing, though, to keep in mind is similar to the middle school, except we're a little bit bigger, is arrival and dismissal can be a little bit challenging for those who get dropped off. So plan accordingly for that. So if our day starts at 8 o'clock, showing up at 7:55 is probably not going to get them into class on time. So keep that in mind. Extra help, same as middle school, is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. It starts right after school at 2:44 and it goes until 3:14. So it's a half hour after school. Again, one thing that's a little bit different at the high school compared to the middle school is that many of our teachers do 1 day of extra help in the mornings, and that will be communicated to all the kids as well. So keep that in mind that there may be a day that they need to arrive to school in the morning just so they can go to extra help before a test or something like that. We use a test day, a 6-day testing schedule, and each subject area is assigned a day number, and it rotates 1 through 6. That's highlighted both in the student handbook and on our calendar, which is on the website. Again, all this information is going to be shared with you digitally from me in an email, both to, like I said, to your kids and to you. Report cards are the same as the middle school, every 10 weeks, and in between every report card period is going to be our interim reports, and this is just an opportunity for teachers to share with you what they've seen over the past 5 weeks. But the one thing that you really should remember is that if you have any questions about how your kids are doing, or if anything's going on in class, reach out to the parent, reach out to the teacher as soon as you can, because getting in front of things is always better than trying to catch up at the end of the quarter. You see a few assignments missing, then it can be a little bit more challenging. So reach out once you have a question. Each student will be assigned a locker. That has not yet happened yet. And so that information will be communicated out of the dean's office, and so keep an eye out for that. It is a little bit different than the middle school as far as lockers go. The students will have the same locker for all 4 years, and they don't really use them. So it's a good thing that they have it. Sometimes they'll put their jacket in there in October, November when it gets cold, and they'll take it back out in June. So if anything goes missing, it could be in there. We do have an open campus for students in 11th and 12th grade. So what that does mean for your 9th and 10th graders, or for 9th graders specifically, is that campus is closed. They are not allowed to leave during their free periods, during lunch. However, there are many places within the building that they can go. We have study centers for each of our academic departments, and there are almost every period they're covered by a teacher. So if the student has any questions related to the content area, they can go there and get help from any of the teachers that are there, whether it's their teacher or not. We also have a phenomenal library. I think many of you saw that at curriculum night, and if not, I do recommend taking a look at it. It is one of my favorite spaces in the building, and it's a great place for kids to go during their free periods. Lastly, the code of conduct will be shared via email. Again, like I said, via email from me to all students. There'll be a list of 7 or 8 things that are important for you both to keep in mind at the beginning of the year and then throughout the year, and it's a good place to reference it. It's all listed there with links, and should anything change or be updated, those links are live and will be updated as well. That's it for me. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Baptiste, who is our Director of Guidance and School Counselor.
Good morning, everyone. So welcome. I take pleasure in looking out every year when we invite all the parents and all the 9th graders in, because this will definitely be a special time for everyone. It's a time of growth, it's a time of highs and lows, but we get them through this process and ask that you partner with us in doing so. And I look forward to seeing their journey. One of the things that I will say that we here provide all kinds of resources and all kinds of support. I'm director of the Counseling Center. I have met many of you maybe at the middle school, but I get very involved more so at the high school because I'm responsible, along with my team and department, for really making sure that whatever the next step is that students take leaving here, whether it's going off to college or whether it's going into the workforce, we help get them to that process. So quickly, I just want to introduce the counselors who are here. They're not going to stay. They're just here to say hello, and then they're going because they're preparing for the kids who are coming at 11:30. So today we have Ms. Brown, Ms. Santos, Mr. Caruso, Mrs. Messina, Ms. Lazaro, Mr. Geller, and Ms. Sotillo. These are your people, okay? They are the people that will help you and be with your family for the next 4 years and be on this journey with you. So anytime you have questions or you need some sort of support or anything, you can always reach out to them. They are available. Guys, we'll see you later. Thank you. So high school is incredibly important, and not that any other states in your academic career isn't, but high school is the culmination of what you're going to do next, right? So I take that very seriously, we all do. And an important part of doing well is attendance. If you want to learn, you got to be in class, and you got to be here on time. This is why the district has an attendance policy, which we are going to enforce very seriously this year. We need students to be in school, in class, present, participating, learning, engaging, and that will help with the academic process. So the policy is on our website, the policy is in the handbook, the policy is in every district publication that we put out, but please understand, and our dean will be overseeing that process, but attendance is critical. Grading and adjusting to the new building. So, not that we want students to continually be obsessed with grades, not that they are, but we know that they are. However, we want you to be more concerned about the learning process. If you're learning and engaging and getting something out of your learning, you're going to get good grades, right? You're going to put in and get out what you put in. So, grading is essential. We know that coming to the high school from middle school is a transition. So that being said, we allow students the flexibility to come in, get their feet wet, get acclimated to the building, and first quarter basically is almost like a trial run for them, right? Once they've acclimated, second quarter we allow something called freshman forgiveness. And what that is that if by second quarter students have really, found their stride, they're doing well, whatever grade that they got in first quarter, second quarter is higher, we're going to replace the second quarter higher grade, okay? You won't see it on the you won't see it on the report card, but it will be factored in at the end of the school year. So just understand, any full year course, first quarter, let's say you get a 90, let's say you get an 85. Second quarter you get a 90, we will replace the 85 with the 90, and average that in for all 4 quarters. So just like middle school, we are on a 4-quarter system, right? First and second is the first semester, third and fourth is the second semester. So that's the little difference from middle school, is that we are on a semester basis. Any questions about freshman forgiveness? All right. The one thing that I will say, and the counselors will talk to the students about this, is we don't want them to come in thinking that I can just be lazy and not really work hard because I've got second quarter to make up for it. It doesn't work that way. When you come in working hard and getting really, acclimated to the building and trying your best and doing well, it just gets better and better and better. If you don't do it that way, then you're playing catch up for second quarter. So we encourage them to take advantage of it, but to come in doing your best, putting your best foot forward. Building a transcript. So that's another thing that you will constantly hear us talk about, and you'll hear the counselors talking about that always. A transcript is basically a record of every academic course that you've taken in high school. That record accumulates, right, over the course of 4 years. So every single course gets a credit and a grade assigned to it. To graduate, students need 22 credits. Depending upon how you do in each credit, builds a GPA, which is a grade point average. So we always talk about building a transcript because you are building brick by brick, course by course, an academic record. And this is what, excuse me? Exactly, similar to college, right? And this record is what colleges, potential employers are going to look at to see what type of student that you have been in high school. That record will help to reflect whether or not you're applying to some of the most competitive colleges or the college that best suits you. Or, like I said, if you're going into a vocational setting. But your transcript is a record, so I always say, build it. Help students to pick courses that reflect their strengths and build on their weaknesses, that reflect their interests. This is how we build a profile. And there will be an evening dedicated to talking about how to help build profiles later on in the year, but this is basically the general information that we'd like to share. Power School and the Parent Portal. So we send out a lot of information, and the best way to be communicative with us is to make sure that you are checking the portal. The portal is the academic, communication tool, right, which allows parents to go on and see what's happening in their classes, see what grades they're taking, see their attendance. Word of advice, don't stalk it. Do not, because what we find, you're watching things, you're seeing the quote, oh my gosh, you just got a grade, you're texting. What happened in that class? They're in school, leave them alone, okay? We talk about it when they get home, we don't want to make them more anxious, right? But this is a way to communicate. Please make sure that you have your most current email addresses in the system, because most of the communication that is sent out is sent via email. So please make sure that that is updated. But the portal, again, can help you to just stay on track. But the key piece of learning for us here is that we want our students to be able to advocate for themselves, to handle their own business, to take care of their own work, and so you will stay engaged with it as you monitor it from afar, but this is also their responsibility, and that's a part of the growth process. And just an overview of our curriculum. So each, at the high school, at the middle school as well, but more so you'll see it at the high school, we are departmentalized. So there is a study center for each department, and there is a lead chairperson who oversees that particular department. So I'm going to just introduce them briefly. Christy Faulkner is our social studies chair. Daniel Pappas is our world language chair. Gary Romanetti is our science chair. He is involved in the interview process right now, so he couldn't be with us, but he sends his regards. Jen Sapir is our English chair. And Charlie Winworth is our mathematics chair. So, Counseling Center. The Counseling Center is really what we like to call the hubbub of the high school, right? It is where the counselor's offices are. Mr. Lazarus talked about places to frequent. We also have a place called the Rest Stop in the Counseling Center where students come. It's kind of like a lounge. And there are computers if they want to do computer work. There's a big screen TV there, even though I don't let them look at TV during school, but we do have a big screen there. There are lounges, they hang around. You know, most students come down during their lunch period. It can be a quiet place for them to hang out with their friends or whatever, but there are so many places for them to frequent, but the Counseling Center is definitely one where we also house the school psychologist, school social worker, and we are responsible for not just overseeing their academic program, but also their social emotional learning. That takes place in the Counseling Center. So academic planning looks like every year we work with them to help build that transcript, to help them pick the courses that they're going to take, and basically build what their academic profile looks like. Enrichment opportunities, and Ms. Murphy will talk about it soon. There are over 60 clubs where students have to get engaged with arts, athletics, music, business, fashion, theater, you name it, we have it. So we ask that students be engaged in the classroom and also in the curriculum, outside of the curriculum, because students are making up a campus community, and how they engage with that campus community helps to foster a better education for them. Career assessments are things that we do through the Counseling Center. We often push in, and we use a program called Naviance, and Naviance allows us to track college information, but it also allows us to gather information from students, like what are their strengths and how do they learn, and what are their academic interests, as well as what are their potential career interests. So these are things that we do through the Counseling Center. Post-secondary planning is, again, planning for what that next step is going to be, and we are with you throughout every year. And finally, profile development. And again, as I can't stress enough, building a profile, picking courses that meet your strengths, finding what your interests are, taking full advantage of everything that this high school has to offer. This high school is a phenomenal place in terms of academics and extracurriculars, and so we want to make sure that our students are taking full advantage of all of that. Mr. Last, next PowerPoint. Good. And so now I'll introduce Carol Murphy, and I'll be around to answer any questions. Thank you.
So cold in here. Good morning. Yes, I'm Carol Murphy. I'm one of the assistant principals. And as assistant principal, I have the responsibility and the pleasure to oversee the student activities and clubs. So as you heard from Ms. Baptiste, our hallways are quite busy after school. After their academic day, we offer actually over 50 clubs in the high school, anything from competitive to fundraising, community service, we have it all. If you go onto the website, you will be able to find all the list of the clubs that we've had currently. Most of them will remain, in fact, all of them will remain for this year. There's a description of each club and the people who advise the clubs. So I encourage you to go onto the website with your student, your child, and take a look at all the different offerings. We encourage them to try many clubs on for size. There's no deadline as to when you can join a club. You can join a club at any time. You can go to a few meetings, you decide maybe this is not for me, and then try on another club. Most of the kids in the school find 2 or 3 clubs that they really love, and they continue with it throughout their high school career, but there's always time for change. One of the things we do in the fall is we offer a club fair during all of the lunch periods over the course of 4 days. And this gives your kids an opportunity to talk to other students who are members of the club and ask all their questions. If you have any questions or anything that you would like to find out about clubs, feel free to contact me. I have introduced kids to teachers who advise clubs if they want kind of an introduction ahead of time. So clubs definitely are an integral part of the high school experience. As Ms. Baptiste said, it kind of rounds out your academic profile to see that you engage not only academically, but you are engaged in extracurricular activities. And I think that's about it for clubs. I guess the most important thing I can say is that it's a great way to make new friends. It's a great way to explore interests that you already have, maybe things that you don't know anything about, and then it encourages you to get involved in something you've never been involved with before, and especially get to know their teachers outside the classroom. So in the high school, I think different than the middle school, there are so many more choices, and that's what high school experience is all about, making choices and advocating for yourself and just having a great 4-year experience. So I really look forward to getting to know you much better, getting to know your kids, and my door is always open. Any questions that you have at any time are never too small. Please feel free to reach out by email or by phone, and I'd love to talk to you. Welcome again. At this time, I'd like to introduce our OCC President and Vice President. OCC stands for Organization of Class Councils. It is our student government at Roslyn High School. So please welcome our President of the OCC, Devin Zakaria, and our Vice President, Mallory Sorkin.
Hi everybody, my name is Devin Zakaria and I'm the President of the Student Council at Roslyn High School.
My name is Mallory Sorkin and I'm the Vice President. So I'm here today to just tell you a little bit about the OCC. So the OCC is the Student Council at Roslyn High School, and we are here to answer any questions your kids may have, help them with any issues and problems, and we also plan and publicize a lot of school events. So we're excited for another fun year at OCC, and we will encourage all of your kids to run for a position, as there are 7 class representatives for each grade. So they will know to go to Devin and I for any issues, or the class representatives around the school. And they will find out a lot more about that as the school year begins. And here's Devin to tell us a little bit about what the school has to offer.
Hi, I'm Devin, and just from a student's perspective, I'm just going to speak about everything that Ms. Baptiste, Ms. Murphy, everybody here mentioned. I mean, I love this school. It's great. Academic-wise, all the teachers are so approachable and friendly, and they provide so much assistance and extra help. And there's also so many resources that come with your child's academic career. And I really encourage, me and Mallory both encourage that your children really get participated in these clubs that Ms. Murphy mentioned. I mean, it's a great way, along with so many different electives and clubs and also sports for your child to pursue their interests here at Roslyn High School. I mean, it's how we both discovered our love for leadership, and that's why we're in OCC. It's really amazing, and we both felt, of course, nervous coming from the middle school to the high school, but we felt the transition was very seamless because of all the guidance here and also speaking to older kids, so don't feel afraid. We're going to introduce ourselves to your kids as well, but we want to make sure that they know that we are resources and a backbone for their transition here to high school. And let us know if you guys have any questions. We look forward to meeting your kids later today.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Krastowski. I'm the Director of Health, Community, and Athletics. So I just want to briefly discuss with you a couple things that are a little bit different as you come to the high school. The first one on here is attendance and physical education. So because there is so much to offer here at the high school, there is a chance where your child may want to go study, or they may want an extra lunch period to hang out with their friends. Unfortunately, attendance in physical education is mandatory. And this year, 9th graders are solely in 9th grade phys ed classes to make that more appropriate and a transition from middle school to high school more appropriate. So every student does have access to the boys and girls locker room, or the locker rooms right outside the gymnasiums. They do not get a locker like they do in the middle school, where it is theirs for the year. We have brand new locker rooms, so it is more of like a fitness center. As the students come to physical education, they get to choose the locker, they put their code in, and then at the end of class, they can put that same code in, they take their belongings, and then they go on to their next class. We do not require students to change for physical education. However, they have to come prepared to participate. So what that means is they have to have sneakers and athletic attire. If they come to school dressed appropriately, they can participate in phys ed. But if they come to school in flip-flops, then they're going to lose points. If they don't behave appropriately, or if there is something that is dangerously done during class, they're going to lose points. So please just reiterate with them, it's a time to have fun, meet friends, and stay active. Also, make sure they lock it up. Everybody gets very comfortable here in Roslyn, but that's sometimes not life. So in physical education, we try and make it a point that if they have their phone, if they have their bags, that even though everyone else has a phone, we still tell them they have to lock it up. There are some times where we will take it if it's not locked up, but they can panic a little bit, then give it back, because we want them to get used to locking their belongings up. If they don't want to use the phys ed lockers, they don't have to. They can use their hall lockers. But they have to lock it up, because if something does go missing, I'm going to say, well, okay, where'd you lock it up? And they're like, oh, I didn't. And then, we have to call the director of security, look at the cameras, and it's a big issue. We just want to avoid that. I'm going to skip health curriculum for right now, and then go right down to registration for athletics. Here at the high school, we have 3 sports seasons. Today is actually one of the days that we are starting the fall season. Then we have a winter season and a spring season. Unlike the middle school, where there were 4 seasons, we have 3. So your child may have to choose between 1 or 2 sports that they participated in at the middle school level. Once they come to the high school, we encourage them to try. Okay, we have JV and varsity, and it is competitive. So we try and put out the most competitive squad we can within reason, but there is a place for everyone if they want to try and they can make that commitment. It just depends on the sport and the season. Athletic registration starts 1 week prior to the season start date. Athletic registration starts 30 days prior to the start of the season and is due 1 week prior. We ask that you sign up online, just like the middle school, and if there are any missing documents, the school nurse will reach out to you to make sure that you get all that information. Also take a look at the vacation schedule. We do play sports during vacations and on weekends and on holidays, depending on the holiday. Religious holidays, we don't participate, so Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, but There are other holidays or days that school's not in session that we will be playing sports. So please check that. There's a vacation calendar posted on the website, along with a lot of information that will be very helpful for you to plan throughout the year. And then the health curriculum. Health used to be reserved for 10th graders, but this year your students will be taking it in 9th grade. This way they can take a mandatory course, get used to the high school, and then take an elective once they are acquainted with their experience here at the high school and what is actually an appropriate fit for them. If you have any questions about the health curriculum, you can please just reach out to me directly about what is taught, how it's taught, to me or one of the health teachers directly. I appreciate you all coming here this morning. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me in the office here at the high school. But have a great year.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mr. Macias. I'm the Executive Director of Covert Investigations and Security. I'm embedded here in Roslyn schools, all of them. Many of you probably see me at the elementaries or the middle schools. And for Roslyn, my title is the Head of Safety and Security for the district. The first point up there is safety measures. I can't talk in a public forum about all the safety measures that we have, but the biggest ones are, the doors are always locked. All of our exterior doors are always locked. Classroom doors are kept closed in a locked position. Every door has a sign on it to not open the door for any outside people, any other students. There's only one way into the high school, one way out of the high school during the school day. That's through the main entrance where every student shows their ID card. They come in and they're in the building. We know where they're at. So that's the biggest thing. Encourage your children. Please always have your ID card with you and only come in and out of the main entrances. The emergency drills, New York State came down with mandates this year, but Roslyn was well ahead of the curve and we've already done them. Every drill that is done in a trauma-informed manner. What does that mean? That means your children will never be subject to acting as a participant, a victim, hearing any loud noises, disturbing events, such like that when we do our lockdown drills. By New York State rule, we have to do 12 drills a year, 8 of which have to be evacuation, which are fire drills, 4 of which must be lockdown drills. Again, a lockdown drill, just like from the elementaries up to the high school, have always been conducted in a trauma-informed manner. We're never going to do anything to disturb the children. But unfortunately, the world we live in, they have to know how to react if the lockdown buttons should happen. The life of a drill, when we conduct our drills here, usually take about 8 minutes and then classes resume back normal. Communication, you'll be in constant communication with the dean of students will come out. The school sends out messaging to those of you who were at the middle school last year when we had our event. You saw how quickly we got messaging out about the swatting event that occurred at the middle school last year, and the information was shared as appropriately as possible. Please follow those directions as hard as it's going to be. I know your instincts, and I raised four sons myself, but the initial instinct to run to the building, the affected building, is the wrong measure because that takes away from law enforcement, takes away from security staff personnel, from what we have to do to clear the building and get everything back to normal as quickly as possible if we're dealing with folks on the outside. Arrival and dismissals. The high school, the arrival pattern and the dismissal pattern is you're going to come in through the front, but not by the horse, and the student parking lot is only for students to come into. We ask the parents when you come in through the middle. There's 3 entrances, you come in through the middle, you go around that, and then you follow all the way around to the end of the awning. So everybody's covered when they get out of their cars and get into the buildings. I know that we want to all stop right by the main entrance and go in. But when we do that, it backs everything back out onto Round Hill Road and traffic becomes a disaster. So we just ask follow directions of the security guards and school personnel who will be out there waiting you to pull all the way up to the end of the awning. I'm not asking you to let your kids out where they're going to get rained on or anything like that. Underneath the awning and come in. The rear of the high school is where our buses come in. Some of you, with good initiative, and I probably would have done it myself, try to come into the back to avoid the traffic at Round Hill Road. I understand that's going to happen, but what we ask is if you do that, please let your children out at the first cutoff. Do not come into the bus areas where the buses come in to drop off and discharge the children. A, it's illegal to be that close to the buses when they're discharging children, and it's not safe for the kids, and you're going to get stuck in the buses. So if you do have the initiative, you don't want to wait to come into Round Hill Road from the front of the high school, you want to drop your kid off first in the back, that's fine, but there's a first cutoff, like for athletics, when you go to make that U-turn, let your kids out there and they can walk walk in the school and they can't come in that entrance from back there. So I totally get that, and I understand it. I already mentioned once before, ID cards. ID cards are so important that the kids have them so we know who they are. In the rare event that there's some sort of emergency, it really helps with accountability, that we can identify everybody who's in the building at any time. All staff should be wearing their ID cards so the kids know who to come up to. And talk to your kids. You know, speak to your kids as much as possible. Communication is the key. Speak to me. You know, the only way I can keep everybody as safe as possible is I gotta be approachable and be able to speak to me. You have a question, you have a concern, please talk to me. I wanna hear them all, because the more information I have, the better way I can make decisions to keep everyone safe here. So, at this point, I'm gonna introduce the PFA parents. Thank you all very much, and you're gonna have a great time here in Roslyn.
Everybody, and welcome. My name is Kelly. First of all, welcome. I didn't realize ever how bright this light is. Okay, so the Roslyn PFA, we're here to bridge the gap between the students, the parents, the community, with the teachers and administration. Just like your PFA in the elementary schools, it's the same thing, except now on the high school level. We've handed out these papers. Each year, you need to re-register your child, even if you're in the same school. So we're gonna register this year in 9th grade, and you'll do so in 10th grade and 11th grade. What this is going to do is just keep the students and you as parents informed everything that's going on in the school, PFA-wise, events that are happening, fundraisers. The $25 go to different things, whether it is funding things for the school. Like this past year, what we did was kind of like renovate the art in the guidance center. Also, there is a Roslyn Bulldog food pantry that we're also getting new shelves for. That's the Pathway to Independence students collect food, and the food helps local families. It also goes to local community food banks. It sponsors speakers, different events for whether it's staff appreciation or events when we have speakers for the students, like for pizza later when your students come here. It's $25. Let's see what else.
Where is it to sign up? You could just click on the QR code. It takes 2 minutes. You really find out a lot about what's going on. So we highly recommend that you sign up, and you'll constantly get emails from us, just so you can attend events that we're having or different activities, or you know who to reach out to if you have a question. So please, if you can even do it today, then we have you on our list and we can start sending emails to you.
We also have monthly meetings. It's open to all parents. It's once a month. You'll receive an email from the PFA, the Future Fund website, once you register, as well as the school will send out. We're always looking for volunteers. We all want to stay connected, so if anybody is interested in joining a committee, whether it's a wellness committee, multicultural day, fundraising, what is it? Plant sale. So what's different from the high school than the elementary schools? The elementary schools, they have like a lot of book fairs, holiday boutiques, and that's usually where they get their money to be fundraised. What we do, we have 2 fundraisers throughout the year, and we also rely just on PFA membership.
We have actually a pretty big fundraiser coming up towards the beginning of the year. I think it is October 22nd, the 24th last year. I think it's the 22nd, but either way, it's a games and cards day, and it's actually really a lot of fun. We have tons of raffles. Everybody goes home probably with at least one thing. Yeah, we have 10 to 15 vendors, local vendors. It's really a fun day, and some people actually do play cards. And there is a nice lunch that we serve, and it's just a nice way to meet new people, especially if you're new to the high school. And it is one of our biggest fundraisers. So if you sign up, you'll hear about that as well. Yeah, welcome. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of us. and we're happy to help in any way that we can.
Hi, it's me again. All right, please join me in welcoming a very special administrator that just joined us, Sandy Stuber. She is our new Dean of Students.
Hi everybody, how are you? Typically they do not give me microphones because I am quite loud. Welcome to Roslyn High School. I'm excited to meet and get to know all of you and get to know all of your students. My email is available, my phone is available. I welcome as much interaction as we can possibly have. Hopefully I will have great positive interactions with your students during the school day. And really, thank you very much, and I'm excited to be part of the team. Take care.
And I just wanted to review with you some very important contact information. Again, you will see this in various places that's given to you, but just to go over it one more time. In terms of curriculum, any questions about your students, their classes, the curriculum, anything at all that has to do with that, you would contact the individual chairperson of that department, of which you met, Chrissy Faulkner for Social Studies, Jen Sapir for English, Danielle Pappas for World Languages, Charlie Winmer, who's not here right now, Mathematics, Gary Romanetti, Science, Mr. Brostowski, who met for Athletics and PE. Just make sure to reach out directly to them, and they will help you navigate whatever it is that you need to know. In addition to that, for help, Dr. Brostowski also oversees the health department. So in terms of health classes, but then we also have our nurse. So any health concerns in terms of your child, medications, you know, if they're injured in any way, anything you need to communicate health-wise, please reach out to Ms. Schroeder, our nurse. Scheduling, you heard from Ms. Baptiste, anything and everything having to do with the curriculum in terms of the courses, the transcript, scheduling issues or not, you would reach your child's counselor and or Ms. Baptiste. Mental health, we have a psychologist and social worker on our staff, and please feel free to reach out to them. You can always get through to them also through the counseling center. Anything to do with technology, having issues at home, getting onto the portal, or anything during our remote days, anything and everything with technology. We have a very, very strong technology department headed by Mr. Lopez, and everyone in technology is always, always happy to help out in any way they can to make sure that you're getting the communication you need to get on a daily basis. With that, it was great to see so many people come out today for our orientation. Please feel free to contact any one of us at any time. If you have friends who did not attend today, please feel free to share any information and encourage them as well to reach out. We're looking forward to a wonderful school year with you and with your students, and we know we'll be meeting the kids very shortly at 11:30. So have a great day, and thank you again for coming.